The drafters of the laws of Federation of Nigeria are wise. There is a section in the Federal High Court Act. You can check it out. Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act empowers Federal High Court judges to recommend reconciliation, otherwise known as political solution, in this very circumstance between combatants, between the prosecution and the defense. And it did not limit it to civil cases only. It includes criminal cases. And we are human beings. We are imbued with the capacity to talk, to negotiate, to compromise certain things, to do give and take. So anybody that puts that issue on the table, it will be considered. The issue of political solution. I alluded to it earlier on. The agitation itself is political. So it fits into the mode of the agitation. Political solution makes better sense than law enforcement.
Have you initiated, or are you going to?
Would I suggest it?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying I'm a lawyer. I'm transactional. It's for the government to put it on the table. That, listen, you are agitating for something, and that's why we're holding you. Can we talk? Then we consider it. We're not going to reject it flat out. It will not make sense. Political solution is always possible. I don't think it makes sense to reject it, regardless of where it's coming from. Well, it will be our duty first is to defend them, not to play politics, not to recommend political solutions, like what my colleague called line of defenses. That's what we are struggling with. Right now, what is on the table is we are fighting to make sure he gets fair trial. So we're not fighting to get a political solution. That's not our brief. But if it falls into our hands and our client instructs us to consider it, we will carry out the instruction of our client. So we haven't come to that bridge. When we come to it, we shall cross it. Thank you.
What are the chances of
What are the
chances of your clients getting freedom on that?
His freedom.
Under Tinubu's government.
Well, I've said it. Initially, when I was speaking, I wondered whether this is an inherited headache for the current president. This is an issue that began from the last administration. We don't know to which extent it was considered a personal spat between the previous president and Nnamdi and the policies of that previous president, which are not necessarily the policies of President Ahmed Tinubu. So we're optimistic. I was in court the other day and we were arguing the application for his bail, and the judge wondered whether, if he's granted bail, whether he's going to honor the conditions of his bail. And I used this metaphor to answer the judge. And I said, well, he will, because it was Buhari and his army that chased him out of Nigeria. And I don't think Tinubu and his army will chase him out of Nigeria again. So people laughed, but I think it captured the sense that we expect this administration to handle this matter a bit more differently than from the way the previous administration had handled it. And we have precedents to point to. Under this administration, we have seen Sondo Igboho walk free. It was the previous administration that pursued him into Benin Republic. He returned in peace, a free man, expressing himself, waxing, swaggering all over the place, a free citizen under Tinubu. And we also have a high-profile case of Yele Showore, whose case was no late. That's what lawyers call it. That is, the Attorney General discontinued his prosecution. The man was literally imprisoned in Nigeria for 5 years. He couldn't travel because he had his passport. Now his case has been continued by the Attorney General, and he returned to the US. He's a free man today. So sometimes you do wonder what makes the case of Nnamdi unique. And we do not want to succumb to certain sentiments, but people are beginning to ask questions as to whether where he heard from is part of the problem that is confronting him. Thank you.